Nissan Leaf, EV missionary, or right car at the wrong time? The MPG technology you never thought of, and the top 5 electric cars on the market. It's time to check the tech. We see cars differently. Nice. We love them on the road and under the hood, but also check the tech and are known for telling it like it is. Ugly is included at no extra cost. The good, the bad, the bottom line. This is CNET on Cars. Welcome to CNET on Cars, the show all about high-tech cars and modern driving. I'm Brian Cooley. Well, in many ways, the Nissan Leaf is sort of the Prius of pure electric cars, if you think about it. I mean, it planted the flag for a dramatically new technology in the public's mind. Nobody ever accused it of being beautiful, and it is a long-term bet for its maker in something very divergent from current car-making tech. But then along came something that wasn't really expected. $2 gas. Not just harming the Leaf, electric cars in general, but we wanted to see how does the Leaf fare between cheap fuel on one hand and a slew of other interesting electric cars on the other. We're going to find out now as we drive the 16 Leaf SL and check the tech. I will give this credit to Nissan. They've kept the Leaf looking unapologetically weird. I mean, this thing makes the Juke look conventional. Not a lot of attractive angles to it, to be honest. They've kept the dimensions and the lines the same over all these years, right on down to the frog-eyed headlights, and it does still print avant-garde, which is something of an accomplishment when you're more than half a decade into your production run. Now, when you get in the Leaf, you realize very quickly you better like electricity, because there's a ton of displays that keep you focused on it. Starting in the upper left, you've got the cedars of Lebanon. You can grow trees with a ring around them that tells you how fast you're doing so. It coaxes you to drive green. That array of rings at the top is a strange way of showing whether you're using power or regenerating. Over on the left is a really big battery temperature gauge. If I have to worry that much about the battery temperature, I'm going to park this thing and run away. On the right is the more useful one. That's battery level, and the number in set, that is your estimated range. And that's changing all the time, of course, based on driving conditions and whether you have this eco button on, climate control, thumping the stereo, headlights, all of that. And in the grayscale LCD, you've got 2 or 3 projections of how long it'll take to charge, depending what kind of charger you get to. And we haven't even gotten to the main event yet. Hit the zero emissions button over here, and you can get an online course in electrical engineering. The most interesting thing about this revised drag and drop and swipe tablet-like head unit is the integration of Google Online Search, though it kind of lives in a silo of its own interface. You can tap out a search while you're driving, though most everything in this keyboard locks out when the car is moving, so your passenger is going to sit here doing nothing. If you want to do a voice search to Google, it's separate from the voice command on the wheel. That runs Nissan stuff. You have to dig in the menu to get to this button to do a Google voice search. Bad disconnect, guys. Now, all this stuff connects to your phone for telematics. You can check the charge state, tell the car when to charge, precondition the climate inside, all the standard telematics stuff through an app that is one of the worst rated in the app stores. Worked okay for me, but get ready for connection hassles, according to a lot of users. Now, the top audio rig on a Leaf is a Bose-branded system, especially engineered to have low current draw while delivering pretty good cabin-thumping sound. And if you get that, you're also going to get a package that includes this nice set of cameras. This is the surround view monitor that Nissan Infiniti are known for, and you can get some side view as well as the overall God view. Now, under the stubby hood, there's not a whole lot new. It's an 80-kilowatt AC motor, of course. Gives you 107 horse, 187 pound-feet of torque. That second number is the one you love. Going out to the front wheels only, obviously, and no transmission to speak of, just a single reduction gear. Now, what feeds this has gotten interesting. Nissan offers a bigger battery now, a 30-kilowatt-hour, versus the standard lithium-ion battery in the older Leaf that has got a bunch of cells welded together. Not too much unlike a bunch of AA's. Here's the rub. The base Leaf S has all the old tech. The new SV and SL, like we have, has the new tech. So let's compare them. On range, the high trim cars with the big battery get 107 miles. The Leaf S, 84. On capacity, 24 kilowatt hours in the S, 30 kilowatt hours in the better cars. Recharge time. The S has 2 slower charging modes. The SV and the SL come with 2 faster charging modes. And the warranty on the battery is different. The base Leaf S with the chromier battery has 5 years, 60,000 miles coverage. The better cars have 8 years, 100,000 miles. Bottom line, leave the Leaf S to the government fleets. You want an SV or an SL. The Leaf reminds me that electric cars are more similar than gas engine cars. They drive very much alike unless you step it up to a Model S or something. It's pretty quiet inside. They've done a good job muting out gear whine and engine whine. The ride is pretty heavy, but it's not uncomfortable. It just feels like it's really down on the ground. That said, it's not terribly tossable. Fun to drive like electric cars always are due to torque, but it doesn't feel light on its feet. You got several tricks you can do to get more out of the battery. One is to go to eco mode, which really saps throttle response. And I'm okay with that because I don't drive a Leaf for great throttle response. I want range above all else. You also can go into the B mode here on the shifter, which is basically down and to the left. And that gives it high regen. You can almost do one pedal driving. Lift off the accelerator and you really come down a lot because you're doing heavy regen back into the battery.
Range is a big deal in EVs, but so is charging, and the Leaf has a lot of ways to do it. All models have a household trickle charger. They also all have level 2 charging at 3.4 kilowatts. But the SL gets level 2 at 6.6 kilowatts as well. That'll charge its larger battery in 6 hours. It can also do a DC quick charge. Hard to find those locations, but if you do, it's 80% in 30 minutes. And the little photovoltaic cell up on the rear wing helps to maintain the 12-volt battery. Okay, Leaf SL, nicely equipped, top of the line. It's a big battery car, all the latest tech, pushing 38 grand. But we're not done yet. $1,570 for premium package to get surround cameras and to get Bose audio. And I'm going to guess you're going to have the home charger installed for you, so add about 2 grand. Now we can go the other way, take off $7,500 federal tax credit, and here in California anyway, another $2,500 state credit. We're back down around $31,200 or so out of pocket. Okay, my time with the Leaf, though, has surfaced a few old wounds and rubbed salt in them. First of all, the electric cars like this of the 100-mile range generation or less in real practice aren't a great choice for the only car for a lot of people. Secondly, you got to have that home charger. Don't even think about anything else unless you live in a condo that has got a charger waiting to go for you. Third, you got to think about the residual values on these cars. They're disastrous right now because of low gas prices and a ton of them coming off lease onto the market. So, do you buy, lease, or buy used? Find our full review of the 16 Leaf SL over at Roadshow at theroadshow.com. Antoine Goubin's got the full deep dive for you there. When I come back, I'm going to introduce you to some MPG increasing technologies that I can just about guarantee you never thought of when CNET on Cars returns. Engine size, vehicle size, performance, model year, batteries and electrification. These are what come to mind when you think of the factors that determine how efficient a vehicle is. But what about glass and paint, LED lights, or one of those goofy little solar panels on the roof? These are all part of a lesser-known batch of efficiencies called off-cycle technologies, because their benefits don't really show up in the standard EPA test cycle. And they also include some better-known technologies like auto start-stop or those aerodynamic grills that open and close in front of your car. Now let me guess, right about now you're thinking the contribution of things like reflective painting glass and cooling seats and other technologies that grant better efficiency by just taxing the AC and the alternator a little bit less are only of interest to a few EV1 lamenting hypermiling geeks. Think again. Ford, General Motors, Fiat, Chrysler, all seeking expanded credits from the US EPA for the progress they've made in using such technology.